Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Addicted Gaming Geek. So today we're going to be playing a bit more of Saint Seiya. This will be my third attempt at completing the Sanctuary arc, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll be facing off against Shaka, which is the Saint of Virgo, and I will be using Iki. So far I've managed to get S ranks for all my matches, if I'm not mistaken, which is quite surprising to be honest, especially that I'm playing on hard difficulty, but look, I'll definitely take it. So what can I say about the Saint of Virgo? Well, Shaka obviously is one of the 12 gold saints and the direct reincarnation of Buddha, which is obviously a big deal, and he was the guardian gold saint of the Temple of Virgo along the path of the Sanctuary arc. And Shaka, in fact, he played a pivotal role within Athena and Po Sanctuary arc, and also in the Hades arc, but also we'll leave that when we play the Hades arc after Poseidon and Asgard. Um, Shaka is probably, if memory serves, the only saint or one of the few saints. I'll need to check those details out later, but definitely one of the few saints which actually has full control of the 8th sense. Now, this directly makes reference to the saint's ability or sensitivity in how they use the cosmos directly. Obviously, the first rank would be bronze saints, which have the weakest and have the weakest sensitivity to the cosmos, and have the most difficulty, obviously, attuning to and manipulating its energies. Obviously, they are quite strong and even supernatural beings, I would say so, compared to normal humans. But obviously, they are outranked by silver saints and definitely gold saints. Now, in the game, and obviously if you follow the narrative story of action anime, we've made mention of a 7th sense, which is something which the Bronze Saints use and tuned into, specifically obviously Seiya, Suju, Hyoga, Shunaniki, and they used the manipulation of a 7th sense, which they awakened, and we get to use quite often within the game to do the big bang attacks, and they used the 7th sense to get an edge and defeat or at least pose some form of threat to the Gold Saints. But what we don't get to see or what we don't get to mention quite regularly is the 8th sense, primarily because in order for someone to awaken or begin to understand the power of the 8th sense, you literally have to die. So Shaka traveled to Nirvana, and there he approached the Sala trees, and he literally died. It wasn't a fake death. He actually died, and on the moment of his death, he became aware of the 8th sense, which is a transcendental concept, and from that moment on, he became the man closest to God, which is a term which is very much referred to in the anime. He is constantly referred to as the man which is closest to God because he literally died and transcended into the 8th sense, and he harnesses, I would say, the entirety of the cosmos, or as much as a body, a live body can actually harness the cosmos to its entirety, and so his power is way beyond anything which anyone can imagine. So anyway, straight to the game. Okay gamers, so I need to get Shaka with 5 aerial attacks and finish him off with 1 special attack. Not too difficult, let's see if we can manage it. Okay. Blocking on my attack so far. It's a really cool game. I really enjoy playing through all the different scenarios and fights with the Lord Saints. It really takes me back to when I was watching the anime for the very first time. So as far as I can see, his attacks are mostly far away. Not this attacker. So I should pull off my 7th sense, which is what I was referring to when I was describing the difference between 7th sense and 10th, and I managed to get it with my attack. It's a really cool big bang attack, very nicely done. Phoenix riding with the flames, really awesome. Cool, and I managed to take him out. I think I did quite well, and I did execute a big bang attack, so definitely an A, if not an S. Let's see.
フェニックスの羽
An
ばた
S,
きをもっ
and
てす
I
ればたや
managed
す
to
い
get
こと
the
だ
2 requirements, and I did. So awesome. So that's done.
シャカよお前はそれほどの力を持っていない
Okay, so what's going on now?
なぜ教皇の悪に加担しているのだ
So he's questioned Shaka's
教
loyalty
皇の本質を見抜
and
けるわけがあるまい
questioning if he knows the true loyalty of the true intentions of the Pope.
教皇が悪と知りつつあえて仕えている悪の片割れか
And of course, just in case you guys gamers are noticing, Shaka doesn't open his eyes, because if he opens his eyes, he taps into the allegedly the 8th cosmos, which I already mentioned, and his power just it's something which is not attainable by most of the saints, and he can literally destroy anything he wants to.
多少なりとも地獄を見てきた君を陸道輪廻へ落とそうとしたのは私の過ちだったようだ。一気君の六冠すべて立ちフェニックスといえど二度と立ち上がれぬ
So now what he actually does, he
完全に葬ってやる
negates or cuts off every single sense he has, so touch, smell, eyesight, hearing ability, and obviously the sixth sense. He cuts the 5 basic human senses plus the sixth sense, and completely destroying his body. But you'll see what happens now. Make a sneaky shell of a person and losing control of his armor, Phoenix armor.
最後に虚しく動き続けるその心臓を求めて陸道輪廻に落としてやるのがせめてもの慈悲だろう。
シャカ、今度は僕が相手だ。兄さんを。
So his brother Shun comes to his rescue.
死に損ないの君が出てきたところで何ができる？
シュン、どいていろ。シャカは俺が倒す。
Typically, as it always happens with the Bronze Saints, they tap into the 7th state, which what is Iki's doing now, but I said the 7th sense, which is what Iki's doing now, pushes his cosmos to, the totality of the 7th sense, and without his armor, tries to challenge Shaka to a second bout. Let's see how I do.
迷わずあの世に行ったな。
Okay, so I've already accomplished my 2 requirements, so I just need to do as well as I can, try to do as much special moves as I can, and hopefully Big Bang attack, to try to S-rank this episode to out of the others. I already have an S, so I think if I get an A, should be okay. Let's see. So most of his attacks are long distance, so if I can keep my distance and block, I should be okay. This with my throw. I think I need to charge my Cosmos up. Let's see if I can do it now once he's knocked down on the floor.
そろそろ分かってきただろう。いくら君の歯を踏みしばっていたところで君たちが再び光の差す場所へ戻ることなど決してない。
Have my 7th
さあ、
sense.
今度こそ君に本当の死を与えてやるぞ。
Let's see if I can get him with my Big Bang attack. Nice. So this is the alternative to the first one. The first one was the Phoenix wing attack, which goes into the spiral of flames. And this one is, I think it attacks Psyche directly, which is one of Iki's powers. Putting in illusions and tapping into people's so let's see. An A. Not as good as an S, but still, if I had to guess, I would say that that's overall will still be an S with a bit of luck.
ゴールドセイントであるこの釈迦のコスモさえも覆い尽くすとは、一体
Okay, so Shaka obviously is very much impressed about Ikki's ability to manipulate the
お前
cosmos.
が俺に教えてくれたのだ
Considering that he's lost every single sense, he still manages to push his cosmos
視
to
覚を封じることで
the limits of his sixth sense. Same as Seiya and Yoga and
今俺のコスモ
all
は
the other
六
Bronze
感を失っ
Saints
た
have
こ
done
と
in
で
their own respective
お
episodes.
前をしのぐほど燃え上がっている
まさか
So now
それでは
you see that Ikki does
わざと天部降臨を
the only real technique
そうでもしなけれ
left
ば
at his disposal,
神
because
に
he
最
cannot
も近
really
い力を持つと言われる
defeat
お前を
one-to-one
倒すのは
Shaka.
不
I
可
mean,
能
even
だ
though Shaka was very much taken aback by his
さあ
powers,
シャカよ
Shaka wasn't
俺と10万
fighting
億度とやらの
seriously. He
彼方ま
wasn't
で行ってもらうぜ
going 100%. If not, Ikki would have been destroyed in an instant.
愚かな自分の命を捨ててまで
So
相手
Ikki
を倒す
essentially is going to
そ
sacrifice
んな
his own
勝
life
利に何の価値がある
so that the other
さらばだ
saints
シェン聖夜たちと共に
can
最
carry
後
on
まで
the
男らし
mission.
く戦うんだぞ
Now, for those that don't know this, Shaka
人間がも
moved
し生
both
まれ変われ
Ikki
るな
and
んてことが
himself to
本
another
当にできる
dimension,
のなら
and much later,
この次
and
に
in
生まれ
the
変わった
anime,
時
he asked
お前とは
me to save them,
あ
and
ん
as
た
you
の
know,
弟
he was the first gold saint which we encountered very beginning, which
Lisa.
infused the bronze armors with his own blood. Okay, so let's see what we've unlocked here. More characters, music and so forth, and awesome, another S rank. Okay, so so I'm assuming this is just another narrative account of the plot, because I didn't see any heroes or
第
any
7の
encounters.
天秤級において聖夜たちは
So what's happening
檻の
right
棺に閉じ込められている氷河を発見する。しかしゴールドセインと数人の力をもってしても破壊できないとされる
Okay,
神の
so the
棺を
Bronze
前に
Saints reach
聖夜たちはなすすべがない。
Depressed Palace, where Yoga faced off against Aquarius. Aquarius used absolute zero technique and imprisoned Yoga in an ice prison.
突如としてシリュウの死同志が所持するはずの
So
カイブラのゴールド
Sirius
クロス
Master,
が出現
the Gold Saint of Libra,
なぜライブ
is
ラの
known as
クロ
Doku.
ス俺たちの前に
Since his golden cloth
氷河を救うため
aid his
俺たち
disciples,
に下されたのだ
student
あり
Sergio,
がたくお借りします老子
as
ライブラのクロスは分解する
most people will know this, Doku, Gold Saint of Libra,
そう
lives in the Five Peaks in China, along with Shurei,
シールドが
which is an orphan girl he took care of. For those that haven't seen this, if you check out my homage to Siju
正しいことのため
in one of my other videos, you can see Doku crying and Shunrei as Siju sacrifices himself against Gold Saint of I'm not going to mention this, we are going to face
そのためでもある
against him as the Sanctuary Arc progresses.
このソードを使わせていただきます老子
But essentially what's happening now is
その中から救い出してやるぞ
he sends his gold cloth to aid with the bronze saints, and they'll use weapons to destroy the
やった
which they do.
氷河体が氷のように冷たい心臓も止まりかけているよ
早く何とかしなければ
二人は先に行ってもう時間がないよ氷河は僕一人でも必ず助けるから
So they managed to save Yoga, but essentially what they're discussing now is that his body temperature has gone so low that Andromeda
僕のコ
decides
ス
to
モ最高点まで
remain
高
next to
め
him.
そ
He'll
の
raise
熱量に
his
よって
body temperature to
氷
the
水が
maximum.
氷河の体温を上げ
In
られる
fact,
はず
what in reality happens,
人を倒
the
すため
same
で
as the other
人を
saints,
救うた
including
めに
Ikki,
燃やすコスモがあってもいいは
do
ず
in
だ
order to
僕の命
fight
の
against
借
all
りも
odds and go over and beyond their natural abilities. They push
So-
the cosmos to the limits of his sixth sense. Andromeda actually does that, pushes his cosmos to the limits of the sixth sense, and transmits his warmth, his power over to Hyoga, pushing him from death's door, and he saves him essentially. Okay,
第8の級天活級へ突入
so
した
next
聖夜
fight.
とシリュウ そこを守護していたのは
Scorpion
サソリ
Miro.
座スコーピオンのミロだった。ミロの放ったスカーレット・ニードルは
Yeah,
聖夜と
his
シリュウを
Scarlet Needle
一瞬の
was
うちに倒してしまうのだった。
他愛のない
Miro dispatches a both heroes very, very quickly using his Scarlet Needle.
だけでも大したものだ
Essentially, what happens with this technique, he
ブロンズセイントは
means pain to his victims, and generally, if you watch anime, he tends to give his opponents two options: either they surrender, or they become insane due to verbal pain, and generally they die
のヒョウが
soon afterwards.
ヒョウが蘇ったのか
So yeah, so Hyoga, as I previously stated,
凍りついていた俺の体に
turns back
熱
to
い
life,
命を吹き込んでくれ
or
た
carries himself better said,
さあ盾
and will
二つも
face off against
そして
Scorpio.
みんなで強行のままで乗
For
り込む
those
ぜ
of you that don't know this, Scorpio and Aquarius, which Aquarius was
貴様たち
the
が
master
強
of
行
the
の
Crystal
ままで
Saint,
たどり
which
着くなど
directly instructed Yoga, actually very good friends, and this is depicted in the manga, or the actual anime.
決して不可能を意味す
Camus
る
and
言葉じゃない
Milo were good friends.
夢とは信じ貫き通すものだ
So let's see how I do.
何この結晶は
Let's see what the requirements are.
カリツォ見ろよ今度はお前が動けなくなる番だ聖夜シリュウシュンを連れて先に行ってくれ俺はミロを倒してからお前たちの後を追う
Let's see. Okay, so guard 15 times and win without being thrown. Shouldn't be too hard to accomplish. For throw one, it really depends, but blocking 15 times shouldn't be too hard.
男の勝負に
Okay,
言葉は
let's
不要
do this.
我が友に免じて命だけは許してもいいぜ
ファイト。
程度の決勝で私の動きを完璧に封じ込めたつもりか別に
So Scorpion is
聖夜
doing
た
this
ちが
kind
天
of
国
needle.
を去るまで
What's
お
it
と
going
な
to
し
be
くして
gained?
もらいたかったのか
So to block.
よかろう
Let's throw.
望み通りこのスコーピオンのミロが全力を持って
One
相
part
手を
I
して
kind of control, but obviously I'll try to block
ブ
as
ロン
much as
ズ
I
数
can.
人でゴールドセイントが守る12球を突破できると本気で思う
できるか
I'm
どう
gonna
か
have this one and I'm
考
assuming
えていない
another bout to block. I don't have to
俺
block
のコスモで
time specifically
変えてみせる
this match.
言ったはずだ見ろ俺の好機によって倒れてもいないあなたの
Luckily I
独
blocked.
にやられるまで待つわけにはいかない
See if I can get him.
ヒグナスの渇きを受けよ発長よ
Ah,
スカーレット・ニードルは慈悲深い技
どちらでもないクラウド動画が目指すものは
not able to really combine attacks, although I think I'm gonna block it.
ダイヤモンドダストスカーレット・ニードルダイヤモンド
タリツォ
That is his throw.
キングナスのフォー
Pretty
ク
cool. I won. I don't think I did that well.
決して敵を撃つ
I'd be surprised if I get a B or even an A.
俺の闘気
C.
ではダメだったというのか
Anyway, and I didn't block 15 times. I'll get a between to block now anyway. So I see tend to get A's and
この程度の
S's.
闘気で
Anyway,
は
you cannot do
通用しないと言った
in
は
best
ず
of the time.
それよりも自分
I'm
の
assuming I could
体
always
を見てみ
replay
ろ
if I don't get an S.
バカなこれは俺の体にスカーレット・ニードルでサソリ座の奇跡
Okay,
を
so what's happening now is obviously you don't see it within the actual game,
相手の
but in the
体に
anime,
サソリ座の星
Scorpio
を
was in
表す
fact
15のシンクの針を突き立てる技だ
pivotal places within his
そして
body,
最後
which if
のア
you
ンタレ
trace
ス
the
を
line
打ち込め
of
ば
the red spots in Hyoga's
その
body,
相手は確実
they
に死ぬ
they depict the constellation
Narada!
sign of
その
Scorpio.
前に見ろあなたを倒さねばいい加減にしないか
Now
ヒュン
again, it doesn't
君は
translate within the game, but the fact is that any other person would have already been dead or suffering in intense pain by the Scarlet Needle. The fact that Hyoga is not dead or in tremendous pain right now is without Scorpio's knowledge, Hyoga actually did a very superficial layer of ice over his body, which prevented or lessened the blow of the Scarlet Needle to his body, so that's why he's pretty much still alive.
そうだったのか。
神に免じて命だけは助けてやる。数日もすれば
So,
再
as I
び五
said
感も
before,
戻ってくるだろう。
Aquarius and Scorpio are, are friends,
見ろよ。
so he's just informing Hyoga that out of respect for his friend, he will spare his student.
一人だけ生き延びて
That
何
means
に
that
な
he
る
will spare him
この氷河にとって
tolerable pain, not that it will spare his life. I don't think that what he meant in terms of sparing his life more about the pain, really.
熱い血潮を分け合った素晴らしい奴らと同じ時を歩んでいるということが喜びなのだ。
But obviously Hyoga is not giving up. And similar to Seiya when he faced against Taurus, Mido is beginning to realize, you know, that this Bronze Saints, that conviction, that sense of conviction is so strong, you know, that something must be going on, and he has 20% increase in attack. So I need to block 15 times, and I will try to get him with a big bang attack. Hopefully that will give me the an S.
みんなが必死で戦っているんだか。上手なための眠りになどついていられるか。何かしたのか。君にとって命を助けるというのは侮辱になる。正々堂々と戦う。君の命を全力で奪う。来い。見ろ。
It's really, really cool if you did it. See, Mido's combination attacks, if he doesn't know, he actually combines, and then his strong attack, he actually pushes his leg over his back into the opponent's front, depicting the tail of a Scorpio. It's really cool. So let's see if I can get my big bang attack. Yeah, also. Aurora attack. Hopefully that'll give me the S. I'll just finish him off now. Ah. Another special attack. Should give me a rank of S. Let's see. Awesome. Cool. So to get the rank of an S, it's definitely you need to. I got an S and I didn't get the 15 blocks. Okay. But yeah, to get the S, definitely you need to finish or at least do a big bang attack within the battle. Okay, so Mido is actually doing his finishing attack now. Because obviously, like I said before, he pierces his opponents with the symbols or the stars aligned to make the constellation of Scorpio, and then Antares is the last point in the tail of a Scorpio, and that's what he's done right now. And there you go, yeah. When Scorpio was doing his Scorpion attack, Hyoga was in fact doing the Cygnus constellation attack on Scorpio. And now he's actually recognized that if not because of his gold armor, Cygnus would have probably killed him or won much sooner. So Hyoga is in reality unconscious right now, but through sheer force of will, he's managing to get up and continue the fight. And also this is where Yoshiari Gido, the Bronze Saints, are protecting. So this is for Athena, because remember the Pope has told the Gold Saints that Athena is an imposter, that she's not the true Athena, which has been reincarnated. And obviously the Gold Saints have no other reason to doubt the Pope. Well, some of them do, as Mew and Taurus and so forth. But it wasn't until this moment in time where Scorpio actually didn't begin to doubt the Pope's word, and has, as a sign of gratitude, saved Hyoga's life. by stopping Antares, which is the final piercing of the Scorpion attack, Scarlet Needle, by stopping it in its tracks. Cool, another S rank, and more unlocks. I can use Scorpio as a playable character, that's really cool. Stages and other bits and pieces. Okay. So I've managed to get S ranks throughout, which is really cool. I haven't had even to replay any of them. Doubtful that I'll get S ranks for everything, but we'll see. So this is just a cinematic narrative account before we get given the 3 other options, which after this account they will obviously show us. And I think after the narrative account, I'll call it, and I'll make day 3 video. So obviously this is not depicted in the game, but elaborate ever so slightly. So essentially what's happened, Geki has returned Suyo's golden staff to where it was supposed to be, in the statue within one of the temples. She calls forth Sagittarius Gold Cloth to aid a Bronze Saint. All the 12 cloths within the different temples resonate simultaneously, and Sagittarius points at Seiya, but obviously Seiya, he's pointing at a piece of the wall, as you can see now, and reveals a message which he wrote before he escaped with Athena, with Saori, so many years ago, and unfortunately he met his death as a consequence. In the actual manga and within the anime, when the 12 gold cloths resonate, the Pope begins to get nervous and has a couple of hallucinations or flashbacks, better said, regarding the saints, Leolas and Athena. And he begins to get nervous that maybe the Bronze Saints will in fact accomplish their goals, and that Athena obviously is as she already better said, is the reincarnation of Athena, and that everyone, including the Pope, should pay homage. And obviously for those that don't know this, Sagittarius and Seiya later on have a mutual understanding or even a symbiotic relationship, and Seiya many times wears the Sagittarius arm. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, so that's me done for today. Everything is as ranked, and we need to fight against Camus again. Who else? Aphrodite. Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah, she has the rose attacks. And Shouda. Capricorn. Okay, so I think the same as I did previously, when I had 3 options to take, I'll probably make day 4 video with these 3 battle scenes, and then we progressively getting closer to facing the Pope, which is really cool. So with that, I say goodbye, thanks for watching, all the best, and as always, happy gaming. Goodbye.